Safer doesn't mean safe. Come on now, go quickly. The scholar dives through the first, the razor wire barely parted enough for him to get through, bars piercing through to his leg. But he keeps on running as a small streak of blood splatters on the ground. The doctor follows, grimacing as the wire slashes her arms too. The escort follows last, but sprints ahead of them both, their body used to the adrenaline as their cuts spot over. Gunfire sounds in the distance. A hail of shots rain across the ground around them, but they're still running. They're still up. The doctor's gaze is harsh but not unforgiving. Her nerves betray her composure, her hands shaking slightly as she lets go. I'm sorry. I won't touch you like that again. Just let me do the talking here. You want this as much as I do, right? Yes, I think I do. You have to be certain. This is dangerous. I won't forgive you if you get hurt chasing a dream you don't want. The intensity lights up in her eyes, her passion and rage and fury and betrayal mixed to a single point of hot white fire. The thrum of the bass blasts out again, the stench of sweat, absurd hormones mixed with dry ice, miasma. It's so hard to think like this, so hard to know what to want. She leads me to a quieter back booth. The strobe of neon flicker through the nightclub or underclub. Somewhere far, far above, the hierarchy dances in perfect synchronicity, but down here with the sewer rats, everything is off key. A half beat out of time. I know you're out of your comfort zone with this. I am too, but I'm not letting anyone stop me. This is too important. I wish I had your drive. No, you don't. Trust me. Wait, I think they're here. The smoke briefly clears as the escort paces through the crowd, their presence small but distinct, used to off-kilter steps and mistimed beats. The hierarchy's claws are still there on them. No one is truly free, but so light as to be just a stretch, not gouged so deep to the heart. They draw a deep drag from a vaporizer, cells shifting imperceptibly under the surface. They sit beside the scholar, cat-like, grinning sharp as a razor. So it's you two nerds that want to get into the zone, huh? You're really that obvious? Do you even have to ask? I was trying my best. I care for you, Professor, but seriously, shut up. This is not your area of expertise. Huh. Sure as heck isn't yours, Doc. Then make it my area of expertise. We're getting into the zone regardless of whether you help us or not. And if you want payment, I suggest you help us. Check the case. Oh my god, did you? Is that Psycho Silver? Yes, it is. Now forget what you saw. I betrayed too many people for this to get screwed up now. Wow, this is some real stuff, huh? You really weren't kidding when you said you were serious. I don't kid. You realize you can't go back to the hierarchy after this. Then you understand how serious I am. Alright? And the Nerd King over there, what's his payment? That's more than enough to cover both of us. Don't try to stiff me. Wait, what? You're paying us both? That's not fair on you. Shut up, please. I'm just trying to make an honest living, but fair is fair. This is a whole lot of goods. I'll take you both, but you really gotta be sure. This stuff's dangerous, and even if we make it through, neither of us are coming back the same. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes. I just embrace it. I don't know what I'm embracing. I haven't researched this game at all, so yeah. Yes, I need to know. I don't envy what you're gonna find out, Nerd King, but if it means that much to you. The doctor places the case in a nondescript backpack and hands it to the escort. They sling it over their shoulder and smirk. They stand up and leave the booth. The scholar shifts uneasily, head pounding along with the bass. Well, enjoy your last night before you come back different. Though by the smell of both of you, you've already started to change. Is it me? Did I not wear enough deodorant? I'm sorry. That isn't what they mean. Oh, sharp one. Meet beneath the 4th bridge tomorrow. The hierarchy doesn't care what happens out in the slums. Be seeing ya. The escort slips into the crowd of moving, shoving, swaying bodies, vanishing in an instant. They're wrong. I know. The hierarchy always cares. What happens anywhere, the hierarchy always cares. I know. We're already villains. This is really bad. If you want answers, this is the only way. We've made our choices. Don't look back. Don't regret this. Promise me you won't regret this. I can't. I know. I can't either. Well, this is a lot. I don't even know what we're doing or what deal we made, but okay. That's what was right. It did come back different. 5 in the morning, painfully early, the doctor stands beneath the shadows of the city, casting furtive glances all around. The scholar makes his way to the bridge. Frost eats at the ground and gnaws through his boots into his feet. It's too cold. But there's no turning back now. You're late. Were you followed? I don't think so. It's hard to tell. I've never done this before. Hopefully we'll never have to do this again. You look cold. Take this. The doctor hands him a thermos. Gingerly, he unscrews the lid, steam and condensation pouring upwards, mixing with the cold puffs of his breath. The scent of hot chocolate fills his nose. He sips an unfamiliar warmth spreading through his chest. It tastes like home, like memories of a childhood he never had, of cozy winter fireplaces and the scent of cinnamon, of the illusion of family and unconditional love. It tastes like the time before he even knew what the hierarchy was, but that can't be true. Everyone knows what the hierarchy is, even if they're too young to understand it. Isn't this Kak Renpy? I didn't think they made this anymore. They don't. I saved it for a special occasion. I can't be sentimental sometimes, as much of a shock as that might be to you. A whisper passes through the air. With barely a shuffle, the escort appears, as if they had always been there, unnoticed. What up, dust bags? Oh, God, frick. I nearly dropped my drink. It's okay, you can say it. Where you're going, you can say all the kind of bad words you want. Please don't patronize me. Leave him alone, escort. I paid you well enough to be civil. Jeez, can't I have some fun? I don't bite. Much. I do like the art style though. Music and it's like a nice kind of like serious atmospheric setting. The trio leave, departing quickly before the eyes of the hierarchy pay too close attention. A futile endeavor in the long term, but if you slip away whilst they're blinking, you can have a short chance. So like Big Brother or something. And a short chance is all they need. The escort guides them to the edge of the city, past bright, glittering lights, away from the insulated safety of the modern hierarchy, steadily further into the suburbs, then away altogether. The glitz and the glamour rapidly vanishes, replaced instead with a half-torn fences and decaying tower blocks. The escort leads them further, down a ditch through a torn open fence, onto the old train tracks, and almost too easily through an empty cargo carriage. They gesture to remain silent. The doctor takes deep, quick breaths, well, not quick, quiet breaths, hard as stone, but sweating. Scholar, small, nervous and uncertain, shivers without feeling the cold. Within a few minutes, he can't feel anything at all. The escort gestures again and holds onto the side of the carriage. With a start, the train's engine clunks on. The scholar stumbles for a moment, but the doctor flings an arm out, steadies his shoulder. Their breath billows in front of their faces as the engine roars around them. Still not safe, but better than before. A few minutes pass, then an hour. 2 hours. 3. The engines off. Not the engines off, but the engines of the train die back. A glimpse of the outside world through the door cracks slow. The escort prowls forward, opens the door, looks around, judges the surroundings. Okay. The escort looks down, waits for the momentum of the carriage to slow enough. They point and gesture out. Jump. The doctor moves forward, leaps, races for impact. She lands, crashes to the frost grass outside, the winding her. She tries to roll, but the world sparkles in front of her eyes. The scholar follows next, throws himself off, lands and skids on his feet. Hero balances, coming down hard on his elbow. He stifles a yelp of pain, biting his arm to keep from crying out. The last escort jumps, lands, falls, skidding on their knees, but they came prepared. They're already dirty combat trousers, unashamed of another stain. They stand up and jog over to the scholar, then the doctor. That's the least unpleasant part of what we're gonna do. Ah, I like the colors. I'm okay, just... yeah. Hurts to breathe. Just a bit. I'm fine, I can stand. I'm fine. You better be. I hid our survival bags over the hill. They're not light. I said I'm fine. The trio climbs atop a small hill covered in tall, untamed grass. The doctor waves away the help from the scholar, but she winces in pain. The escort climbs down the other side and moves aside a well-hidden tarpaulin. Beneath are 3 large military-grade camping bags. They hand one to the scholar, second to the doctor, who winces again, but shoos away assistance. The escort finally unfurls a carefully wrapped package beneath the bags. 3 radiation counters and a psycho-silver pistol. They load into the cartridge a 45 Camusin AP rounds. They hand the counter to the doctor and none to the scholar. They also hand him the gun. He takes it cautiously. I've never fired a gun in my life. Never even seen one like this. That's because they're highly illegal. You don't have to look so happy about it. Look, we need it for the zone. There's the HQE phenomena. I know, it scares me. He's referring to the blowouts. Yeah, sorry, I am fluid and fancy. I just didn't think it'd be so real. It feels more real now that we're here. I don't want to need this gun. I don't want this. I don't want to face it. Then why are you here, buddy? Why are you here? Why are we here? What is this zone and hierarchy stuff? I want to, but I don't. It's not straightforward. It was never going to be. He hands the pistol back to the escort, who shrugs and holsters it. The trio adjust their backpacks and move forward. The tree line ahead is stained a rusty red, permanent autumn, a side effect of the zone's dialect fallout. The air here smells still and cold, fresher yet emptier. Before the forest, before the zone itself, the layers of razor wire. Hierarchy couldn't control the zone, but they could at least exile it, fence it in, banish it from civilized society. The escort approaches the wire, kneels down and slings their backpack off. They retrieve a pair of wire cutters, grumbling as they cut through the mix of artificial thorns and metal and sharpness. They fixed this up since last time I was here. This should be a weak point. There. The wire gives way, whipping to the side. The escort scrambles back, narrowly dodging getting hit in the face. The wire cuts their sleeve, slices across their left arm. In the distance, an alarm sounds. Dog barks. Hierarchy knows. Crazy. I thought this was the safe zone. Safer doesn't mean safe. Come on now, go quickly. The scholar dives through the razor wire barely parted enough for him to get through. Bars piercing through to his leg. But he keeps on running as a small streak of blood splatter on the ground. The doctor follows, grimacing as the wire slashes her arms too. The escort follows last, but sprints ahead of them both, their body used to the adrenaline as their cuts clot over. Gunfire sounds in the distance. A hail of shots rain across the ground around them, but they're still running. They're still up. So go to the forest. Man, that's crazy. They keep running. The doctor, her broken ribs stabbing her, slows. The scholar and the escort dashing past her. I'm worried about the doctor. She keeps trying to run. It's heavy. The world is heavy. Her lungs can't move with all this pain in the way. The forest is just ahead. They can shake them there, but her head is swimming, her vision flashing with each jolt to her chest. She stumbles, falls, lands on her injured side. She screams and clenches her teeth, trying to stand again. The gunfire ricochets around her, the world dimmed by catastrophe of bullets. She tries to scramble up. The escort's yelling ahead. The scholar is visible at the tree line, but the world flips sideways. Which way is even up? Do I run to the scholar? I just follow the voice. That regains her footing, but barely. The world's still swimming. Hurry up, now. A final salute of bullets flies past, one clip in the side of her backpack, but missing her body. She crosses the tree line, diving to cover beneath the orange and rust and autumn. Acrid, burning, metallic smells lingers in the air for a moment before it fades. Because if you can't really see, you gotta follow the voice, basically, I assume. Doctor collapses beneath the orange-red furs, crying as oxygen floods her lungs again. The pain washes over her, a tie she can no longer keep at bay. The blood drips from her arms, the cuts tender but not deep. The escort tears off a strip of cloth from their tattered sleeve, use it to dress the doctor's wounds. As they take the cloth strip off, the skin of their arm is visible for a brief moment, and an intricate network of scars and old cuts and rolled matte lines. It's okay, we're safe here. They won't follow us this far in. Here, take this. It hurts you. It just hurts so much. I know, it gets easier, but the first time always hurts. Wait, where's Scholar? Nerd King? I saw him on the other side of the ridge. He isn't hurt. You are. I'll get him as soon as it's safe. So long as he doesn't venture too far in or walk back to the guard post, he'll be fine. And even though he's small, he's currently in better shape than you. What? Why? Why are you looking at me like that? You want to protect him, don't you? Can't help but feel you put him in a lot of danger with this. I mean, what I said, doing this ain't safe. Home isn't safe either. Don't I know it? It's messed up all of us pretty bad. Just... Did you want to take him here to help him? Or was it just so someone would hold your hand through it all? I ain't judging you either way. Dang. Can it be both? It can be both. The doctor sits up, adjusting the dressing to her wound. She grimaces. Everything stings. It's really bad. Why does it hurt this much? You're the doctor. You can tell me. You know what I mean. Yeah, I do. Feels kind of good though, right? God, yes. The doctor blushes, looking away, ashamed. They rush the endorphins, the head swells of endogenous opiate. I believe that's what it is. It's not healthy, but it feels great. But more than that, there's something beneath the scarring, something to find, some answer. And finally, she was asking the question. The trio reunite underneath the red-brown canopy. The doctor still limps, but her wounds are mending. The scholar's cuts have already fully closed, leaving only small white lines. They camp for the night. The night air is still beneath the dead trees. The next morning is more walking and more walking. And more walking. Hours pass. Alright, the escort stalks ahead, reaching into a small bag tied on their belt. They pluck out a small metal nut with a white ribbon tied through it. They throw it forward. It sails through the air, white ribbon flickering, and lands. They slow their pace, pause, retrieve it to throw another. And another. And another. The journey is beyond tedious. Why is this taking so long? It takes as long as it takes, Doc. We're being followed. They'll find us. They ain't gonna follow us in here. They don't know the way. Do you know the way? Besides, there's scarier things in here than me. But than them. And they know it. Escort throws another nut through the trees, flies forward. A crack. The nut plummets prematurely to the earth, like a magnet sucked it from the sky. It hits the ground and sticks without bouncing. Then the gravity pulls it in and down and just keeps pulling. The pressure on the nut crushes it into the earth, the metal bowling and cracking under the heaviness of gravity. My God. Is that real? A real avian focal point? Spot? I told you it ain't fluid and fancy. Me, I call this a crush. It shows up randomly sometimes. I saw a guy walk into one once. There wasn't much left of him to walk back out. And like a crush you don't want, it shows up when you least want it. How can you tell it's there before it's too late? Honestly, you can't throw in the nut and bolts sometimes gives you a rough idea though. It's why you don't run head first in here. Or you won't have a head anymore. I can't think of worse fates. I never liked my face much anyway. Please don't joke about that. The idea makes me feel sick. They walk. The path through the forest is fraught with more crushes. They double back, turn left, turn right, return multiple times. And the red forest is in sight, but still the journey takes hours more. The scholar's feet hurt from the constant retreading, but he doesn't complain. The doctor looks pale. The escort has seen this before and knows the tracks have become instinctual. There's a trick to it. You do it or you die. And they had enough of dying a lifetime ago. Okay? We'll save. And then we'll go to the main menu. Because I think that's kind of a good stopping point. Yeah. Alright. This is Ascension. I don't know anything about this game, but I mean... Gee. That was a lot.